Hello, the name's Tristan Perriman, and I react to media, music, and more, offering my insights into literary analysis and as someone who grew up queer and Christian in a pretty homophobic environment. And now, as much as I need therapy, our favourite characters, as you may know from the Vampire Lestat, are on a different level. And so today, let's have some fun and try to rate these vampires and how much they need to be sent to the psychiatrist. In number 12 is Lemuel.
Calculated, so the figure put forth was based off the engaged architectural firm.
For a hotel hallway massacre.
Comparable to comparable spaces. I'd like to add a line for Cascade Glass. The parking structure built fleet of vehicles lasted.
These cleanup numbers are made up.
Numbers in this case are mostly going to silencing witnesses.
This is not my first clown rodeo.
Now, this vampire to me is cool-headed, advocate for his boyfriend, and sets boundaries. You don't see him experience any trauma, no pain, and he's just pure slay. However, maybe he has to be a little different to date our Louis, and also he's a vampire, so there must be something there, but we don't see it. So he's number 12. Number 11, Sam.
Hello again. To the Telemasker dragged me into that.
Sam has been tempered pretty evenly and creative all along. He only joined Pluto because of the job with the Telemasker. He's an okay playwright for a vampire and an okay DJ for a vampire. He calls out Lestat for being crazy and doesn't seem to cause much trouble in the scheme of things, at least intentionally. I do believe he does need to go into therapy to discuss how much he shouldn't listen to the opinions of other vampires who are trying to cause trouble. Like, why join the theatre in the first place? And why work with Gabriella, who wants to cause the great conversion? Like, come on, Sam. In number 10, Tracy and Salamander.
To follow Larry to a better life. We're a fucking band.
Make more.
They became vampires for the music. They asked to be vampires, which means they have way less transformational trauma than all our other vampires, who were sadly kind of coerced into becoming vampires. And, well, asking to be killed to become a vampire is pretty crazy. But other than that, they don't seem to have experienced much trauma. Although when they find out that Armand has killed Larry, there might be some things to work on there, for sure. Number 9, Alex.
Hello. This is Alex. He's on Vampire Spectrum.
Play the concert.
I want to play the concert.
Alex wants to play the concert.
Although now he's been incredibly damaged by Armand, and is stuck mute most of the time, maybe because of how Gabriella turned him, he has a healthy mindset as a human. Trying to quit alcohol, drugs, meat. If only he hadn't been mind-controlled by Armand, he might have been fine, even though he was turned. Number 8, Madeliene D'Eparvier.
Je voyais dans leurs yeux quand ils étaient sur le point d'abandonner. Et moi, j'ai survécu. Moi, j'ai suivi mes instincts. J'ai trouvé l'amour dont j'avais besoin, même quand c'était un amour dangereux. And I have again.
If she had survived, Madeliene had the best chance of being the most well-adjusted and bright young vampire with a clear ability to endure. But she's had her share of trauma as a human, and if she had survived the play with Claudia, that might have affected her once more. Again, society rejected her, even a society of monsters. To be rejected that many times must be really hard on the psyche, because I understand that for sure. Number 7, Claudia.
Madeliene, you two hug it out for her too? You two bringing her back in the cornstarch? Cause I don't see her here, and I can't find her there. The one good thing in my black life. It's been every fucking second of nowhere looking for her. And where is she?
Claudia herself had a really hard childhood as a human. She had a traumatic experience with Bryce, and along with terrible parents in Louis and Lestat, who truly used her to fix their marriage and caused her death. However, to me personally, she is healthier than most of the vampires on this list because she has a fighting spirit, and to me, she needs therapy. She also knows she needs therapy, which is better than most of the other vampires in the show. Number 6, Daniel.
But you're not a vampire. The stuttering ape of Auvergne. Any Quebecers here? Buried yourself in the ground for a century over a not great love. Only thing you carry with you to New Orleans is a music box reminder of a not great love.
Daniel's a drug addict. He has a maker that abandoned him. He has daughters that don't want to see him. He's a long history of overdosing. He's now full-on vampire crashing out, floating, smoking, and being angry as hell. He also likely knew friends who tragically passed during the 80s, and has a lot of trauma from being tortured by Armand, and also in love with Armand, and Armand being in love with him. He needs a lot of therapy. Also, probably because he's probably a repressed homosexual like I was, because the 80s were 10. Number 5, Louis.
What about the thing you should thank me for?
I didn't know that was in me. Got some work to do on myself.
He grew up gay and black during a time when neither was respected and even hated. I relate most to this character. He was a pimp and did not respect other people. He's a victim of domestic abuse by Lestat. His brother died and his human family abandoned him. His daughter hates him, and he was selfish. Therapy to work on himself would probably help him form better relationships than Lestat and Armand. Number 4, Nicolas De Lenfent.
You play beautifully.
I play like a tailor's son. Did he say anything else? My dad? What did he really say?
Help him to be a man.
Are you gonna teach me to be a man? Lestat de Valois.
It seems like Nicolas suffered from something similar to bipolar disorder during a time when no medication for it existed. He was likely tortured by Armand before he was turned. He cut off his own hand, and his mind was forever stuck in pained existence. If medication works on vampires, he would have benefited greatly from access to therapy and the medication, because how do you find your worth after all his experiences? Being loved by Lestat, abandoned by Lestat, killed by Lestat. It's such a sad character. Now, number 3. Number 3 is our titular character, Lestat De Lioncourt.
I am the vampire Lestat. I'm immortal, more or less. The light of the sun, the sustained heat of intense fire. These things might destroy me. Then again, they might not.
Lestat started off ostracized and abused by his mother. Even his human life was traumatic as fuck. He had to watch witches burn, his lover die. He was turned in a very traumatic way that included both assault and vampire abandonment. He has been betrayed by most everyone that he loved, and he never had the opportunity to accept that he was a victim of incest. And he both feels as if he's a failure and too emotional at the same time. Number 2 is our little chaos gremlin, Armand.
Hey, you got some reason to be dark-sided, Armand.
You have some reason to be dark-sided, Armand. Sold by who you were sold by. Sold into what you were.
I saw a lot of that.
So a lot of that in New Orleans. We didn't talk about it much. Shut it off.
I didn't want to think on my own sins or picture you at 12. 12? You at 12? Scared? Poor boy. I run.
Armand in this show was abused for a period of 12 years and then was turned by the person who abused him. He had to survive on his own because Marius abandoned him, and he needs someone to love him, and no one ever has, because he cannot even remember his parents very well. In fact, his parents are likely the ones who sold him into slavery. He was never loved by Lestat. He was never loved by Louis. And finally, maybe now he's loved by Daniel. Number 1, Gabrielle, or Gabriella in the show.
You know what I dream? I'm drinking wine, so drunk. I strip off my clothes and bathe in the mountain stream. Meg. I go into the village, into the inn, and I take into bed any man that comes.
Why, Gabrielle? Well, first I must ask, why the fuck are you abusing your child? I know that her abusive relationship with Lestat is from her experience as a wife to an abusive man, along with sons that all abandoned her except for Lestat. But she needs therapy to re-understand what it means to be a mother. and how to deal with her inability to take care of her son, except when he's needed. Like, come on, Gabby. And now, finally, the last two vampires that I want to talk about are vampires that are not likely to go to therapy at all. In fact, they probably think us crazy as humans. Marius and Magnus.
You dogs! You drank over! You drank the blood! She was on this land for centuries! It will take me years to get her back on it! Stairs!
I'm flattered by the blood of Madeliene once grave.
Now, maybe we'll get more backstory on these two vampires, but from what we've seen, they're too old to go to therapy, and are almost not even human at all. And I mean that they're too old as in vampires turn pretty stone-like in the future when they're not humans at all anymore because they've lived for so long. I don't even think if they go to therapy they would even be able to improve on themselves, because like any human who's older, they'll probably be stuck in their ways. Well, thanks for coming on this journey with me. Like and subscribe to see my future reactions to the 3rd season of the Vampire Lestat, and more character analysis videos on our favorite undead beings. See you next time!